I want to show you the 5 new materials I got. Plus, I also got DPG finally, and I will talk about this later. But yesterday when I got these materials, I realized that many of them smell like something I already own, which is not bad that these are variations. I just was under the impression that these will be brand new materials that smell something like I don't have. But it's fine. The ones I got is Verdox, HC, Delta Decalactone, Fructalate, and Cedroxyde. Let's start with Verdox. This is beautiful. I I absolutely love this, and it smells exactly like I imagined it would smell. Because this is supposedly used in Greenlee by Parfums de Marly for the apple note. And although this is not a hero material from what I'm reading, it's more like a blender, a woody apple based blender, it is still beautiful and definitely something I want to keep in my collection because a material like manzanite, which is often used for apples, is not enough, in my opinion, to build an apple accord because it's very bright. It feels like a feminine type of apple. Hold on, I have to shut the windows. The seagulls are really crazy. The old people here keep breeding the birds and they're making a mess anyway. The thing that's really surprising about this is that it smells very much like ethyl safranate. Although those are not close materials at all, they're different families. But now when I compare it to Verdox, it smells much more sweet and it just has a addictive quality to it. Next we have Fructalate. This one is supposed to be like Hedione but for fruit. It is bright, transparent, airy, and supposed to be used to create space within fruit accords. If you have ever smelled fructone, this is kind of like that, but without the heart of that smell. It's like fructone, but if you remove the mid frequencies and you just have the top end, and if you make it really transparent and like airy, that is what this smells like. I also have tried Fructate or Fructate, which is like the opposite of this. If I had to rank them, Fructalate is the most high-end frequency, then Fructone is the mid-frequency, and Fructate, I'm probably pronouncing wrong, that's the base frequency. That is, it's like a pear fruit material, but in my mind they all in the same kind of cluster, and now that I have context, I can see exactly how they're different and why you would buy all 3 of these, because if you just buy one, it doesn't really cover the entire range. And these don't smell like some very specific fruits, although they have apple and pear facets or whatnot, but to me they just smell like fruit, the word fruit. Next we have Mayol. This one is interesting. When I first smelled it, I really loved it. It smelled kind of like a cosmetic store or something that I have smelled in a cosmetic store before. A cloud of feminine fragrance or something floral, but not like sweet floral, more as a fresh field type floral. It's kind of hard to explain. Maybe it's powdery. But the more I smelled, the more I kept feeling like this smells similar to something I own. After some time, I realized it smells like Florosa, except without the rose. They are both background florals. They're not a hero floral scent that's going to stick in your nose. It's very kind of like a blender perhaps. But since my taste profile is more blurry, I am expanding into this direction and I don't mind having different variations of blurry florals. Next one I got is Delta Decalactone. This one is maybe a little bit disappointing because I already own aldehyde C18, which is a coconut aldehyde. Looking at the bottle, it says Y lactone, so they're both lactones, and I bought the Delta Decalactone because I thought I don't have any lactones, so I want to expand in that direction, but they are very similar. If I had to choose, I would probably pick Delta Decalactone, not the C18, because the aldehyde is very coconutty. I can feel the coconut. There's some kind of bitterness or a coconutty shell aspect to the aldehyde that you don't have in the Delta Decalactone, which is more smooth, more creamy, and it is supposed to have a peach aspect to it as well. So it's not just coconut. But even then, comparing on the strip, they smell very similar and they seem to last the same amount of time, although the aldehyde, it is stronger. I mean, it is aldehyde after all. Finally, I got Cedroxyde. I got this because I'm often working with sweet scents, and I read that this can help with dryness or to help combat the sweetness, the clawing feeling. Like if you create something that's almost too sweet, almost sickening sweet, then you would add Cedroxyde as a break for that sweetness and tune it back, and it can make the sweet scents smell more expensive. On its own, it smells like a woody amber, perhaps something like cedar amber or even ambrofix, but you're not supposed to use this for the smell of it. You're supposed to use this to combat the sweetness. And I have a video where I'm going to mix and create an accord and try this out. I'll try to create something really sweet, and then I'll add this and compare and see what the effect of this is like, because that's the only way I can really see what would be the use of it. Finally, I got 250 grams of DPG, also known as dipropylene glycol. If you've never heard of this, or if you're still confused about why you would use DPG at all, why not just use perfumer's alcohol, I finally realized that perfumer's alcohol, it is good. It's like the default. You'll use it for the final dilutions of your perfumes anyway, unless you're making oil-based perfumes or something like that. But perfumer's alcohol evaporates very quickly, and sometimes when you're working with certain materials, you don't want to make them evaporate more quickly. You just want to control the dilution. So in that case, I would add DPG so that I can still dilute my material, but I'm not making it evaporate more quickly. Also, in many formulas, you find they use DPG that helps to dilute the material, but also it helps with longevity. At least that's what I've been reading, and I have an experiment coming out where I do just that. I'll add DPG to a formula and see if it lasts longer. Tomorrow I'll have a package of 7 more materials, and I'll do the same kind of video reviewing and seeing if they smell like anything I own and explaining what they are.